New updates in the Sean Diddy Combs case. The rapper's lawyers make a new bid for bail. His team and prosecutors spar over a gag order about what can and cannot be said about this case.
In a shocking courtroom twist, Sean Diddy Combs' attorney, Mark Agnifilo, abruptly exited the proceedings after the leak of explosive tapes allegedly linked to the late Aaron Carter. While the contents of these recordings remain undisclosed, they reportedly contain startling revelations about Diddy's interactions with Carter, particularly in the days leading up to his tragic passing. The sudden withdrawal of Combs' legal counsel has only fueled speculation, raising questions about the potential ramifications these tapes could have on his ongoing legal battles and already embattled public image.
Yeah, you think maybe when you get a little older, you mellow out a little bit, be a little more like him? Or
No, I don't think so. I think I'm just going to get worse.
That's good. That's good. I think everybody will enjoy that.
The controversy revolves around tapes that Aaron Carter allegedly mentioned before his tragic passing in November 2022. His lifeless body was discovered in a bathtub at his Lancaster, California home. The Los Angeles County Coroner's Office later ruled his death as drowning, with no signs of foul play. For years, Carter battled severe health issues and substance abuse, struggles that played out in the public eye. His passing marked the heartbreaking end of a life filled with both soaring success and profound personal turmoil.
I used to let that be my story. Maybe it's better for me.
I want to be a family with Aaron. I don't know if you can find it in your heart to forgive. It's been so bad for so long, and we've had so many tragedies in our family. I just wish you would find it in your heart to forgive me, but if you can't, I will understand.
When you're weak, I was weak. But you gave up your dreams to help me achieve mine. You always tried to protect me, and it didn't want to listen. I'm sorry for that. You ready, beautiful?
Things made a big difference already in my life. I can just only imagine what's going to happen in 10 months and then 10 years from now.
While the exact contents of the tapes remain undisclosed, insiders claim they contain explosive audio and video recordings that could directly implicate Diddy in multiple controversial incidents. If revealed, these shocking revelations could deal another devastating blow to his already embattled reputation, one long shadowed by allegations of misconduct and exploitation within the music industry.
Violence breaker for my brother, who is a artist, and they're after my life. My whole family is after my life, and they're setting me up. And Sony Records owes me $3.5 million, and they don't want to pay me, and it would be in their better interest, just like Michael told me. They owe me money, and they're trying to off. And I'm begging you, and I'm pleading you, help me raise $100,000 as soon as I can, so I can move to an undisclosed location where I am safe. They had cops come and check for a rope in my garage, saying I wanted to hang.
I find this all super crazy because at the same time, Aaron Carter was also saying that Sony was involved in this plot to unalive him. And during this time, the Backstreet Boys had came back and they were still signed under Sony.
During a pivotal court hearing, Diddy's attorney was reportedly confronted with a transcript or summary of the leaked material. Eyewitnesses described his reaction as a volatile mix of disbelief and outrage. Following a tense exchange with the judge and opposing counsel, the attorney abruptly stormed out of the courtroom, leaving those in attendance stunned and fueling further speculation about the damning nature of the evidence.
His brother Aaron Carter.
Right.
A lot of people keep forgetting. Aaron Carter was begging for help, begging for independent financing, begging for security. He made it very clear Sony was out to get him, just like Michael Jackson told him they would be. And right around that time, his brother had just been accused of raping one of the girls from making the band, Diddy's entity. And they were trying to make all of that go away. And Aaron called his brother out. And then the next thing you know, he said, if anything happens to me, I did not do this to myself. And then he was gone.
Mark Agnifilo, a key defense attorney for Diddy, is no stranger to high-profile and controversial cases. With extensive experience in complex legal battles involving racketeering, trafficking, and white-collar crimes, he has built a reputation as a formidable courtroom strategist. His past clients include Keith Raniere, the leader of NXIVM, whom he defended in a high-profile trial that ended in Raniere's conviction for trafficking and racketeering. This association has sparked both criticism and recognition of Agnifilo's legal prowess, further cementing his status as a go-to attorney for embattled public figures.
Diddy be transferred to a different jail in New Jersey, and the point person behind that request and Diddy's team is defense attorney Mark Agnifilo. If that name is familiar to you, it may be because you've heard it before. He's repped several high-profile defendants, like the NXIVM cult leader Keith Raniere and Roger Ng, a former Goldman Sachs banker convicted of bribery and money laundering. We'll get to those cases in a second, but first, a bit about Agnifilo's history. He received a bachelor's degree in philosophy and political science from Connecticut College in 1986. In 1990, he received his Juris degree from Brooklyn Law School, and while there, even received the American Jurisprudence Award for Outstanding Performance in Trial Advocacy.
Speculation about the connection between Aaron Carter and Diddy intensified after leaked recordings allegedly captured Carter discussing unsettling encounters with powerful figures in the music industry. Introduced as evidence in an ongoing legal battle, these recordings have cast a harsh spotlight on the struggles Carter faced, reigniting conversations about the hidden dangers within the entertainment world. The public response was swift, with fans and analysts demanding greater transparency and accountability from industry elite.
On my Twitter, and I see people saying, "You look like you have AIDS, you should go die." I don't understand how I dedicated 22 years of my life to my fans, and now they turn on me.
Do you regret ever getting involved in
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old, because when I did MTV Cribs, the day that I had to go show off the house, my mom and my dad told me, "We're getting a divorce, but you still have to go do this." I had to go show off all the stuff my whole life that was going to be taken away from me.
The emergence of the tapes coincided with broader federal investigations into misconduct within the entertainment industry. Authorities are reportedly scrutinizing claims involving powerful figures, including allegations of manipulation and exploitation. These investigations have reignited discussions about long-standing patterns of abuse in the industry, particularly concerning the treatment of young stars and the power dynamics that have enabled such behavior for decades.
My gut was telling me not to believe this story, and my gut is almost always right. A rep for Aaron Carter spoke to the media saying that the late singer and his estranged brother, Backstreet Boy Nick Carter, had reconciled before his death. Well, now, a source close to Nick Carter says that is not true and explains what really happened, which is not what we were told by Aaron's rep.
Diddy's legal team has vehemently denied the allegations, casting doubt on the authenticity of the leaked tapes. Tensions escalated during a court hearing when his attorney grew visibly frustrated over how the recordings were being presented, culminating in a dramatic exit from the courtroom. This shocking moment underscored the high stakes of the case and its far-reaching implications for both Diddy's future and the broader entertainment industry.
Our law and justice lead another shocking turn in the case of Sean Diddy Combs. Prosecutors, as you know, say that the music mogul committed some unspeakable acts. And now they're saying that he's engaging in witness tampering from behind bars. How do they know that? Well, through evidence that Diddy's attorneys say the feds should never have been able to obtain. They are accusing federal prosecutors of what they call outrageous misconduct. Personal notes that allegedly contain attorney-client defense strategies were seized from Diddy's New York jail cell. Combs' legal team calls that search a violation of his constitutional rights, and they're demanding an evidentiary hearing.
Aaron Carter rose to fame in the late 1990s as a young pop sensation, captivating audiences with his infectious songs and energetic stage presence. Albums like Aaron's Party, Come Get It became defining staples of early 2000s pop culture. However, despite his early success, Carter later faced significant personal and professional struggles. His candidness about these challenges endeared him to fans, but it also revealed the harsh realities of navigating an unforgiving music industry. Throughout his career, Aaron Carter was outspoken about the manipulation he endured at the hands of powerful figures in the music industry. He frequently detailed the immense pressure he faced as a young performer, attributing it to an industry that, in his view, prioritized profit over the well-being of its artists. His revelations shed light on the darker side of fame, sparking conversations about the exploitation of young talent in entertainment.
Patriots, this is a hot update. Patriots, check in. The Diddy news is about to drop. Jaguar Wright just made a video talking about how Aaron Carter was going to expose the diddler and the Hollywood elite. He even put a video message out on his page saying that if something happened to him, it was allegedly that Sony Music owed him $3.5 million, right? And he said his family was coming after him. He told us that everything was about to collapse and come down, and then we know what happened to Aaron Carter.
In the years leading up to his passing, Aaron Carter made cryptic remarks about powerful figures in the entertainment industry. He alluded to unsettling experiences and described situations that many interpreted as signs of systemic exploitation. Around the same time, Diddy was facing mounting legal scrutiny over his role in the industry, as well as allegations of misconduct involving other high-profile individuals. The eerie timing of these events has only deepened speculation about the hidden forces at play behind the scenes.
Aaron Carter tried to tell us about Diddy. Right before Aaron Carter passed away, he said that his brother was Melissa Schumann, who sued Nick Carter for SA, was in a girl group called Dream, and they were owned by Diddy. In her lawsuit, she alleges that Nick Carter first hit on her when she was 16 years old on a music video shoot with Diddy. Baby, her accusations against Nick Carter sound super similar to Diddy's. Around the same time that this woman is claiming these allegations against Nick Carter, he was known to be at Diddy's white parties. And when Aaron Carter told us about his brother, he said because he outed all of this information, people were coming after him and trying to unalive him.
Legal analyst Bruce Rivers has weighed in on the potential consequences Diddy could face, highlighting the severity of federal sentencing guidelines for RICO and trafficking charges. These guidelines are notoriously harsh, especially when multiple allegations establish a pattern of organized criminal activity. Rivers emphasized that if Diddy were to be convicted on such serious charges, he could potentially face life in prison, without the possibility of parole under federal law.
He just executed 2 search warrants. They've got obliterated serial numbers on firearms. They've got videos and baby oil. You know, what he needs is somebody to tell him what the truth is. You are You are absolutely You're going to prison for the good portion of the rest of your life. I guarantee you, they've offered immunity to the people around him so that they testify. And separate from the freak-offs, Combs, among other things, hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims at times by their hair. And you keep in mind, these victims are going to come in and testify. Combs and the victims typically received IV fluid.
The RICO charges against Diddy serve as the backbone of the prosecution's case, tying together multiple allegations under a statute traditionally used to dismantle organized crime. RICO laws allow prosecutors to argue that various alleged offenses, such as trafficking, misconduct, and coercion, were not isolated incidents, but rather interconnected within an organized framework. This legal strategy presents a formidable challenge for Diddy's defense, as it broadens the scope of liability and increases the severity of potential consequences.
Gun crimes. The FBI seized 3 AR-15s with defaced serial numbers, quote, in or about March 2024, during searches of Combs' residence in Miami, Florida, and Los Angeles, California. Law enforcement seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 AR-15s with defaced serial numbers, as well as a drum magazine. Now, penalties for a RICO conspiracy include up to 20 years in federal prison, but Combs could face an even longer term due to the underlying predicate crimes, trafficking and prostitution, among others. The government is seeking forfeiture of any assets or property derived from or involved in the criminal enterprise. But that raises the question, why RICO at all? There's lots of illegal stuff that's illegal on its own here. Well, the obvious answer is probably the statute of limitations.
We'll turn our attention to Sean Combs, where this afternoon we expect the music mogul to be back in court for a bond hearing. That is set at 3:30 this afternoon in Manhattan. Combs pled not guilty on Tuesday to federal trafficking and racketeering charges. An indictment says he, quote, engaged in a persistent and pervasive pattern of abuse towards women and other individuals. He was arrested earlier this week.